It down. It did so since the weekend war. So I don't know if you do anything.
I figure it was just me. That's what is happening to our network.
I called the customer care the weekend where they talk me say they get some small problems, so they solve them up to now.
Problem and they still not fixed it.
I shock say.
I guess I'm part before telco make a call am. Okay.
Hey Roland.
Hi Charlotte, how are you doing?
I'm good, oh Charlie, your side.
Charlie, normal vibes, but Charlie, the network has been down all weekend. I need internet to work. What is happening?
Charlie, the weekend has been crazy. There was a fiber cut and it affected the whole area.
What? Fiber cuts? Which one to that?
Oh, it simply means a fiber cable is torn. So fiber cables are what provide service to you. So a torn fiber cable means interruption in service.
But then how then do you lay cables for them to easily get to?
Bro, we dig the ground and lay them there. Oh.
So what happened?
So usually construction workers break them without knowing. You know, those that construct the roads, fuel stations, galamsey operators and the like. In fact, anything that digs deep has a tendency of breaking a fiber cable. Even bush burning can destroy fiber cables, you know. But you know what? Don't worry. Our engineers have found where the break is and they're almost done working on it.
I see. So how soon should we expect it back up?
Oh, give us maximum 2 to 3 hours and you'll be sorted.
Alright then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Well, I mean now we know the problem, so before wait.
Okay, that means we have to wait for like 2 hours. I think I was gonna break, go get something chop. I'm tired.
I mean if I home. Time for home.
All right, welcome back to the Chamber Dialogue here on the social media channels of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications. We're talking about fiber cuts and how they impact you as subscribers and customers who use the services of the mobile network operators or other service operators that provide you with internet and voice services for you to be able to communicate with your friends and loved ones. So in the studio I have two gentlemen. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. The first gentleman on my left is...
Hi, I'm Harry Newlands. I work for Comsys as the head of technical. Really glad to be here.
Harry Newlands?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And my name is Elia Mitipi. I'm the operations and maintenance manager for Cisco Ghana Limited.
Beautiful.
I'm excited to be here as well.
Love to hear that you're excited to be here. So now, we've talked about a lot of things in the past, eSIMs, fraud, and today we want to focus on fiber, because it's a very important aspect of our lives, as professionals and as ordinary Ghanaians. But then not enough conversation, happens around it. So the focus for today's conversation is fiber cuts and how they impact, customers. I'm sure, you have been in the space. I am a novice. So you can break everything down for us. We'll be very grateful. So let's start off, first of all, with the question. What are fiber optic cables? And why should the ordinary Ghanaian in the market somewhere in Bokatanga or Ho or Su, care about it?
Thanks for that. We'll try to break it down as much as possible.
Yes.
Fiber optics, a medium of transporting information. They've evolved over the years to a point where they are optimally positioned, such that you can carry either your voice, your data, whatever kind of information you want to carry from one point to the other.
So by medium, you mean like something like this?
Yes, for fiber, maybe from the onset, and to simplify it, let's take a bottle like this. We put a light beam, at the bottom. You definitely see the light coming out of the other end, right? So based on that concept of light traveling through a medium, we are able to clad it, like protect or keep the light within the bottom.
Okay.
And you can, transport the light from one end to the other. So you are transporting information, data from one end to the other. To do that, you have over the years it got optimized such that this diameter of the bottle had come down to a very tiny. It's now measured in microns, as thin as your hair.
I don't know if you can show.
We do have examples here.
Yeah.
You can showcase.
Yeah. So these are examples of fiber optic cable. As you can see, there are various types. We have the drop cable. So when you request for a service from a provider, for instance, this is most likely the cable that they will install in your home. And these are other cables that we use on the field. There are some that we use underground. There are those that goes over the area segments.
I'm interested in the size of it. If you can show me the size of it.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I hope you can see it here. You can.
Yes.
Let me just pull one strand out.
Yeah.
So this is just about the size.
I don't know if you want to use this one.
This better. So you can see the size of the optic fiber cable. In fact, this is actually not a size. It's a glass inside this cladding. So there's a special tool that is used to peel off this cladding, and you get to see the glass core inside.
Wait. So you're telling me that thing you are holding there's red?
Still something inside.
There's something inside.
There's still something inside, which is
It's glass.
It's glass.
There's glass in there.
It's purely glass. So there's no point in cutting fiber cable.
So the explanation you was giving, the glass through which the light passes that you're describing is what we find in there.
As tiny as that, yes.
As tiny as that, yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Now, so I was asking, so for my mother or my auntie who's at the market, why should they be concerned about this fiber optic cables you're showing?
See, communication is pretty key to everything they do today. She being in the market, doing her sales, she gets calls.
Yes.
And she also calls her distributors or people who come to her as regular customers. In doing that, the information that she's seeking or the calls coming through, they are traveling through a network.
Please use this to explain.
That network as a glass, whatever the information or call that she's making will still travel across that fiber back and forth.
So if Auntie Evelyn makes a call now,
Yes.
the voice she inputs onto the phone, hello my son, I want you to send me some money. That data information is broken down and sent through
The fiber core.
the fiber core.
Yes.
And then it gets out to me on the other side,
That side, yeah.
repackaged, and I can hear my auntie's voice. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Basically,
It sounds like magic.
Technology makes it magic.
yeah, it's
Okay.
magical actually.
So you were basically explaining that. So as we are all communicating day in and day out, that's the fiber optic cable kind of like holds a very important place to ensure that happens. The communication happens. If you can continue.
Exactly, big time. So emergency services, if you're making an emergent call, you need a medium. And all the communication between, let's say, Accra and Kumasi, they travel over fiber cables, thousands of kilometers of fiber cable. So they are pretty essential. The other aspect is that you may risk traveling from Accra to Kumasi to relay your information.
The information.
But the fiber makes it seamless for you. You don't have to go all the way. You can be in Kumasi and work off from Kumasi, hold live sessions. These sessions we are holding right now to a large audience is being transported over the fiber network to the end user, and it's quite limitless in terms of capacity that you can drive over.
I don't know, Ellie, if you want to like just the big picture in terms of how important fiber is,
Yeah, so I want the ordinary Ghanaian or the layman out there to think of the fiber optic cable as the PVC pipe, like the one that brings water to your homes.
Yeah.
Just that this time it's not water that is running through this pipe. There are lights, beams of light passing through, and this light carries signal. Like you said, you can't travel all the way from Accra to Bogatanga just to relay information. The fiber carries this signal. You're able to make a call. You're able to send data through WhatsApp, and all these are because of the fiber optic cable. In fact, it's the genetic makeup of the fiber to make sure that it has high bandwidth that will allow you transport data over very long distances. Okay. Unlike the previous ones that you had the copper cable, they could just do shorter distances. But when the demand for bandwidth came in, the copper cables could not meet it, and so we had these fiber cables coming in so they can transport data over very long distances.
So the demand for bandwidth, basically people want to use more internet
Exactly.
to be able
They want to
to
use more internet.
Yes.
They want to do more activities online.
faster and
And the number of people online is huge, and copper can't take care of it. Fiber is able to transport.
so now I understand like a PVC, but it's no water, it's light.
It's light.
And when I talk on one end on my phone, so I am somewhere here. When I talk, the signals I put out are broken down and then sent out through the light, whether the person is in the US or the person is in Tamale or Abidjan. They are on the other end with their phone or their device and they get it.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now, talk to me about the evolution of fiber. I mean, how has it evolved over the years?
Yes,
You
so-
mentioned copper, for example.
So fiber optic have not been the same. They've evolved over the years. They've evolved in terms of the design, in terms of the material composition, even the techniques, how they are applied. And I'm glad to say one of our very own, Thomas Onyakun, the late Thomas Onyakun, he has played a significant role in the evolution of fiber optic.
Are these examples the ones you have?
Yes, these are examples of the ones I have. So,
Okay.
yeah, as you can see, there are those that have the strength members in the that is plastic, and there are those that have strength members in here that is also made of different material. As you can see, each buffer contains about 12 different cores, and various applications. There are those that are underground. There are those that are used for area segment as well. And when it started in the early 80s, it was mostly multi-mode fibers, which can travel.
Can you explain what multi-mode?
Multi-mode fiber is a kind of fiber that allows transmission of the light, or allows you to send the light signal over multiple rays.
Okay.
Understand? And then there's also the single mode. It concentrates the beam of light over just one core, just one beam of light traveling through wavelength,
Okay.
traveling through the core.
Okay.
And then there was also the WDMs, and there's now futuristic technology.
What's the like I'm saying,
I
break it down
understand.
for
We
us.
are breaking it down. So
Yes.
the WDM allows you to send multiple signals. Okay, multiple signals across the fiber.
I mean, in an ordinary world situation, can you explain what that means?
I think we
You can
simplified it so much
Yeah.
but there are multiple people making calls,
Absolutely.
and each and every one of them are going to different destinations.
That's true.
And it's the same way when you're carrying the traffic, you would have to pass the traffic to different destinations or other sources. So to do that, you need the multiplexing in between.
Okay.
So that when you pass a particular light source through it, it gets switched to another location. So as to be able to carry,
So
everybody.
basically, you're talking about a system that allows for different, should I say, signals to be sent in different places. So,
Yes.
Think of it as a highway. Okay, let's say an 18-lane highway, cars coming in. Cars
9
on the left, 9 on the right. It gets to a point where the 9 lanes become converge into one big lane that is able to carry all the signal.
Okay.
So high-speed lane with each car is like a beam of light, transporting a signal. So cars coming in, cars going out, and they are all multiplex, as in the road combines at a certain point to become a super speed lane.
Okay.
And it gets to another point, it breaks down.
It breaks down again.
And every car is able to get to its destination.
Okay.
Similar to the way the fiber optic cable is.
Let me ask you. Someone explained to me that back then when we were using cables in the past, it was like having like a dual lane where information is going, information is coming. But now that we are doing fiber, like you say, imagine an 18 lane where multiple information is being or are being sent, out there without any stops. At very high speeds, for example. Okay, all of that. Now, why is it important, for like the running of an economy? I remember March 14th when we were all surprised by the undersea cable cuts, and when that happened, it seemed like the whole country, just shut down. nothing was happening. No calls, no internet. People are not able to use their ATMs and the likes. So explain to me, using that as a background, how important fiber optic cables are to the economy, because people might not appreciate it.
Yeah. Because the fiber is the main medium of transporting the information. So information, as we mentioned already, your voice call is digitized, and it's transported over the fiber optic. Your video, YouTube, or Netflix that you're watching at home is also transported over the fiber.
So like this session, for example, the cameras are getting them.
Yeah, exactly.
They are being broken down, sent through a fiber channel to whoever is watching in their office or their home or on their phone in a church.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes. So the fiber medium is that important to the transport of such information or such signal, and a lot of businesses are also utilizing the connectivity they need for their day-to-day activities. Your Visa card payment, your ATM money withdrawal, all that are running over a fiber optic network. Visa transactions, because you mentioned March 14th,
yes,
the connectivity that goes to the rest of the world plays a huge part as well, where because it got cut off, some transactions couldn't happen.
So explain, you take one transaction for me, for example.
Say you're doing a Visa transaction. It needs authentication and all from Visa.
Which is not maybe in Ghana.
Exactly. Yeah. So that got, kind of impacted one way or the other. Your emails were not going. You couldn't receive either. And then, a couple of days after, there was a lot of congestion as well, because the backups that were available were also heavily utilized at that point in time. So
I mean, just to demonstrate the like using the ATM example, for example. So I go into my bank, I have my Visa card, I put it in, I want to withdraw 1,000 CDs. That information I put in, it doesn't mean that information has to go somewhere like Visa to say this man wants to withdraw, and they need to input some information back to me before I can get my money. But because of the cable cut on 14th, that information was not able to.
Or you can think of it as the normal mobile money operators.
Yes.
So you go there, you want to cash out, and there's no network. And the issue is not, most of the time, it's not an equipment failure. No. Sometimes the transmission medium, there's a cut somewhere. Because there's a cut, most of the towers are not able to connect. And if they don't connect, they'll tell you there's no signal. So you cannot even do any transaction. You can't send money to your grandmother in the village somewhere.
Let's use that. Let's use that. Can I get one of the other cables? Sure. If you can pull one out. If you can pull one out for me.
Let me just pull this out.
So basically, if you're using them as towers, you're saying that, so if there's one tower here, there's one tower there. Let me move this somewhere here. One tower I want to, and there's a mobile money vendor, and I'm trying to send. But if the cables that connect them are severed, there won't be some sort of communication. Wow. Okay. I mean, if you can further, explain for the ordinary businesses at the ministries, whether it's at the airport, for example, how do they benefit from uninterrupted fiber connections?
So where it comes is we deliver a lot of fiber connectivity. Fiber coming to the business.
Yes.
It's their gateway to the rest of the world. It's their gateway to their partners. It's their gateway to other people they deal with on a day-to-day basis. When that gets cut, if they don't have a redundant connection, or even if that redundant connection is limited, their business virtually grinds to a halt. So we can't perform the activities you were doing. So it's kind of slows down a lot. You may fall back to paper and what have you. You know how it is, like when you send an email, it's pretty quick.
Yes.
It's almost instant.
It's delivered.
We'll get it exactly. For you to write a letter, before it goes,
you have to print the letter.
You have to print it and put a signature to it.
And Harry, as you are speaking, I remember a time where you go on YouTube and then you try to play a video, you see the circle loading.
Buffering.
It's buffering.
So then it's almost taking forever. You spend about 10 minutes watching a 4-minute music video.
So what's happening there?
Now it's not common again because of the fiber optic cable. The high internet speed allows, almost seamless transmission. And when there are cuts, you don't get to watch your TikTok videos, you don't get to go online to watch all these other videos that would have entertained you or something like that. Yeah.
So help me understand this. So for the students who is trying to watch a video, on campus in the hostel room, how does because they might be in their room, they might not see the fiber. But what you're saying is that, for example, if there's a fiber cut somewhere close to her, they will not be able to. They might see that their thing is buffering.
Yes. Chances, yeah. So there are towers serving
cell sites.
Yes.
So most of them are positioned like triangulated in a form, and so chances are that if a tower goes down, you can get service from another tower. But in the event that there's a cut, congestion occurs on one particular tower, so it's not able to carry all the traffic
as fast as
as from one point to the other. And so when it happens like that, you struggle a lot, you click, there's nothing happening. You may even think the website is down, but it's just because the transmission medium has been severed and you are not able to send signals.
I mean, we have some videos, I don't know if they are showing while we are talking about the importance of fiber. But I mean, for you, it appears like I said, this is magic. And what are some of the key challenges you face as industry when it comes to the world of fiber installation, fiber deployment, and the likes?
Quite a number of challenges, but top on the list is the cuts. We've been talking about it. The cuts are just a killer. The users, on the other end, are the key people who suffer the most, because their service is taken away from them.
I think we even have pictures as well. I mean, those should be showing while we're talking. Yes.
Of those cuts, some of them are nasty as to what people do just to break a fiber that's run in right of way that have been designated for utility providers like the telcos, the water company, and then the electricity company. So people encroach on these parts, as well as the aerial cables that get run. We have these trucks heavily loaded beyond 5 meter height. Some are like 9 meters.
Overloaded.
Heavily overloaded. Some may not be loaded due to weight, but it's just because of the height they are going. So they go beyond the allowable height they're supposed to go to, and in doing that, they break not just the cable, they can damage the pole that is supporting the cable as well. So when that happens, engineers have to go on location, identify the point of failure, and then put the fiber together again through a splicing.
So we'll delve deeper into that. So for you, in some of the challenges, cuts will be one
cuts
key.
mainly.
Any other challenges that you have?
Encroachment, I'd say.
So that's what I wanted to speak about. We have encroachment. There's the utility corridor where utilities run, like water, electricity, and the rest, and even fiber optic cable.
So the corridors are areas set aside.
Normally, just after the drainage construction, 2 meters
the gutter.
away, yes.
So before your house.
You leave some small space, and then most of those spaces are designated for
the utilities.
But these days you find
by utilities, we are talking about water, electricity, and telecommunication infrastructure. So when you're home and you're seeing us digging from between the gutter and in front of your house, about 2 meters, right? Yes. When we are digging, we are laying important infrastructure that will benefit you. Please.
So the challenge we have faced most of the time is that property owners build into this corridor, and sometimes when you try to trench or when you do an AGD shot, which is like a drilling, it sometimes appears at the bottom of their container. You ask them to move, and it becomes a problem. So wheel leaf issues are really a big issue when you are deploying fiber optic cable, and so we would want to use this medium to also appeal to property owners not to encroach into these utility corridors where we have all the utilities running.
So, I mean, across the country, from Paga to Bibese, by the sea, north, south, east, west. What you're saying is that for everyone watching, or maybe you might know some people who might want to place a kiosk somewhere in that area, that 2 meter that's allowed for utilities, they should desist, from that.
They should, yeah.
I mean,
or seek the authorities' permission to be able to do anything in that space that is designated.
I mean, not to put you on the spot, but what would you say? Do you have any story that basically just broke you down? Like, why would these people do this? Do you have any interesting stories?
We encounter quite a lot. I've gone to a property.
Yes.
And we had our poll there, and this owner wanted to extend a kiosk in front of their wall.
Yeah.
That's going beyond their wall.
Yeah.
And because the pole was there, he was finding means of taking out the pole. So he, kind of deliberately cut the cable.
Cut the cable?
Yeah, it got fixed. After 2 weeks, he did it again.
This is like the pole?
Yeah, on the pole, because we were rising from the ground up. So he went cutting it on 2 occasions. Yeah, which is criminal.
Wow.
To do. Yeah. So at least they should reach out to the telco or the municipal authorities with regards to the usage of whatever is in front of them. Without that, you will be doing unlawful activities by cutting the cable.
And for the impact on them. I mean, we can talk about that slightly. The impact on them as customers. Once the person cuts that cable, what will be the impact on people who live around and stuff like that?
Calls do not go through if people are browsing.
No, I need to say it louder. Say it louder.
So I'm saying that when there is a fiber cut, for instance, calls are not going through. You can't make calls, and when you are browsing, it's not browsing because there's no connectivity. Business are not able to reach out to other businesses. Businesses are not able to reach out to their clients. People who are operating all these, these telecoms, businesses, that's small entity kind of business. They're not able to connect to the internet to be able to carry out some of the activity they would have if they had connection. And so it's very important that we safeguard this critical infrastructure. Right, yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, we'll delve deeper, focus more on the fiber cuts and how they impact, our customers. Yeah. So thank you so much. I have here with me Ellie and Harry, and we're talking about fiber cuts and how they impact customers like you. Like they just said, if you cut the fiber, you never know. You might be in the middle of the night. You might need a call to be made for you to be able to save someone's life. But because that fiber is cut, your call will not go through and that life might end up being lost. So when we get back, we'll talk more about that. You're watching the Chamber Dialogue. The topic is fiber cuts and their impact on customers. We'll be right back.
Your friend Kwesi Isaac, we were London market. Me ye juma me sasa bidie ni ebro. Me ye ebro wo kam, bidie wo kam. Na me use phone na me use no de ye adwuma pa ai na nkrofo hia me a o mo de frɛ me yetumi frɛ mo Tema station nungwa tashi labad achimota me koyi load adwuma me ye no obi a hia me a o frɛ me e wo phone so nti me phone ya ade bia me nkonja no ebu kura me niska kura me tumitiwa na matane me phone e bele ma pick ya na sikwe size adwuma be pio achimoto na ma frɛ boy stam ne o me ye adwuma no na yakoyi yekokoyi kura na se we nye skin try yakakura ye betumi aba obetumi da send mo mobile phone help me wa.
It's good to have you back here. Well, we're talking about fiber cuts and how they impact you. I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but we spoke about what fiber cables are and the fact that, and even spoke about how they are constructed, their makeup, how magically small fiber cables are, and the role they play in ensuring that you're able to make your calls, you are able to watch your video, your TikTok, your Instagram. All is being enabled by this thing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's almost magical, almost magical. Well, we went into town to speak to a few people to find out what they know about fiber optic cables, even though they keep using their phones to watch YouTube videos, Facebook videos. Do they know that it's because of these cables that they're able to do that? So we spoke to them, and then this is what they told us.
Fiber optics, I think They are the black, bigger cables on the network pole.
I don't know anything about fiber optics, but I've been hearing fiber something. Some time ago they said some cable, fiber something underground or whatever thing. So, yeah.
Sometimes the internet helps us a lot. So I think it's something that they have to take care of us, or like they have to take good care of it, so that, you know, some people, they make a lot of income from the internet. So I think this is something we have to take good care of, so that it won't limit some people's income.
As you can see, if we check, you can see some of the fiber something, they are sagging. Some are on the streets. They are creating all sorts of inconveniences. You understand? Because I think they need to pull them up to look like the high tension cables, the way they've arranged it nicely like this. If you destroy these things, we will not be getting our internet well. We will be having these network issues. When you are communicating, you don't hear the other party and all that. So basically, we'll be having bad networks.
Oh, you had some residents on our streets basically telling us about whether or not they know about fiber cuts or fiber optic cables, to be specific, and also some concerns they raised about sagging cables and the like. So I have my guests here, Harry and Ellie. It appears a lot of people don't know what fiber optic cables are. I guess that's why we're doing this advocacy for people to appreciate it, even though they benefit from it every single day. I mean, are you surprised?
I'm not, because first off, the platform has not been created to educate them on what these cables are, and so I want to first commend the telecoms chambers for putting together a platform like this where we'll get a chance to speak to the ordinary Ghanaian out there. And so I believe if we constantly educate them on what these cables are, they will see it and be able to identify. And when somebody is causing damage to it, they may be able to report the person.
Okay. Now, you started off by talking about how overloaded tracks destroy, fiber, some of that. I want us to focus on some of the things that lead to fiber cuts in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, from your experience, what are some of the key things that really worryingly destroy, a fiber or optic cables?
Mainly blatant disregard for public property. That's one reason I've seen people burn bush inside chambers where there are fiber cables. Some may not see what's at the bottom, but hey, they come and steal the covers, looking for metal within the chamber covers.
So by the chamber covers, we are talking about when you see within the rural and urban areas, you find that by roads and stuff like that, you have these chambers that look like they have some holes in them.
Yes.
They are not just empty. We have infrastructure there, and some of them have coverings which people steal.
Exactly.
So please, if you are watching, do not go and steal the covers. The covers are there to protect valuable infrastructure.
Yes. So there's a lot of attempts to steal. So people are looking for copper. They go cut looking for copper, but after cutting, they will see that there's no metal in there.
There is no copper in the fiber. There is no copper. There isn't. All you're doing is you're destroying an opportunity for people to be able to make calls, be able to browse the web, be able to call. You might even need to use the service to save a life, and you will not be. But there's no copper, so stop stealing and trying to cut them. There is no copper. Please go on.
Exactly. So in their attempts to try to, get copper or any metal, they go cuts impacting service. Some may be due to poor drainage systems where the fiber gets exposed and people passing by can also cut it. And then there are some sagging cables that may be due to poor installation. Others will be due to a cut already. So the old cable is caught somewhere, it's scattered across the place. So yes, some of them are due to sabotage.
So let me quickly chip in. In addition to vandalism and theft cases, one of the major cause of fiber cuts is the road construction.
I want to touch on that.
So when you count like 100 fiber cuts, 17 of them are caused by drain construction, and almost 10 of them are also caused by road construction.
So that goes to almost 30.
30%, together 30%. And some of the challenge we have with these contractors is that their project managers do very poor stakeholder engagement. What that means is that if you're about to start a road project, I mean, the onus is on you to, reach out to all the utility players, allow them ample time to relocate their infra somewhere else so that you can do your road.
What you want to do.
Exactly.
Because it's not like the utilities are trying to prevent you from working.
Yes.
But you need to, if we have infrastructure there, that's fiber laid, at great expense.
Yeah, and a few of them that are able to even do the stakeholder engagement, they don't respect the timelines. You agree on a time that, I want to relocate my infrastructure, let's say on Tuesday, on Thursday.
Yes.
By Wednesday, the guy started excavating, and it causes damage to the infrastructure. So I want to use this opportunity to also reach out to those guys out there to do proper stakeholder engagements.
But for that contractor or that driver of the excavator, what would be, for example, the impact on him if he goes out there and excavates and just cuts out, I don't know if my people can show some of the damaged cables. Explain to me what some of the impact could be.
Yeah, as an ordinary, we talked about ordinary users being impacted.
Yes.
They are also users actually. So work orders coming to them and them communicating their plans across are all impacted. Your phone call and all impacted. Their access to internet service is also
they'll be complaining. Network is down. Network is down.
But
Network is down. It's because of you.
Yes, exactly.
You, the contractor, you went out there and you destroyed the fiber optic cables. Now you're complaining network is down. Understand the connection between the damage you are doing and your inability to be able to send emails, make calls, and the likes. There is a direct link.
Exactly. This comes at a cost. It's a costly investment that everybody makes into deploying such fiber optic infrastructure and damaging
millions.
It costs a lot of millions of dollars in a year just to restore or repair them, and you have to do it quickly so as to restore the
about 6 million in 2023 when from the data the chamber has to actually restore some of the and this 6 point something million could have been used to expand fiber into other communities that don't have them.
Exactly. So a place like OEB, I get calls a lot on cuts. They've been off for certain days, 3 days at a go or 4 days at a go without connectivity.
Wow.
Just because fiber is being cut. There's a lot of construction happening on that road, another on the motorway, and then one through Bujuburam area. So there's a lot of cuts happening along the road. So aside that too, our partners, Ghana Water, electricity company, when they also go doing repairs, they tend to damage other utility services, and yes, those are the big pains.
And now, just to reiterate the point about the copper, because there are people going about trying to steal, if we can reiterate that point, that for people out there, we don't have copper.
There's no copper in fiber cable. I don't know who is in the business of buying broken glass, but there's no copper in fiber cable. So when you end up,
there's no use. No one is going to buy them.
No one will buy it. And it's very expensive. It's like when you cut the cable at one point. It's not like I'll just come and join it. Sometimes I may have to replace a whole 500-meter section just because of one cut that has been caused in the joint, and it ends up being very expensive.
Can you give me an idea, a range, a ballpark figure of how much it will cost if, for example, someone is a private developer who's trying to build maybe a house and they don't consult and they are encroaching in the right-of-way areas where they're not supposed to, and they cut. How much ballpark figure for us to do that?
For reported figures, that's 6 million when broken down to per cut within the year. We're looking around 15,000 cedi to like 25,000 cedi.
15,000
just to repair a single break.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite expensive just to repair a single break.
Now we spoke about the road contractors. Now, what about the private developers? Are they also? I mean, the data shows that they're also corporate when it comes to.
Yeah, people are digging every day.
Yeah.
They are extending their homes, creating, redecorating their frontage, and in doing that, they are always excavating and cutting.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, if a fiber cut occurs 100 times, 7 times is due to property owners trying to.
I like how you're giving the data. I like it.
7 times is due to these guys doing some activity on their property, and this really caused damage to the infra. Yeah.
So we've spoken about how, for example, like the road contractors, they are out there, digging and excavating without doing the necessary stakeholder consultation or respecting the timelines that we all agreed. Okay, you're giving me a month or a week to move my infra, and then they go out there and then they destroy it. And then we've spoken about the private developers, people who are burning in, the chambers that have fiber optic cables in there. And throughout this conversation, we'll be highlighting how it affects, costs. But I want us to keep reiterating it. I mean, for someone might be like, well, this thing is only happening in Accra, for example. But I believe in the hinterlands as well. When they go out there and they destroy, our cables, it's affecting them out there as well. Exactly. I believe. Wow. Well, I mean, let me see. So we find that, like I said, we are also, even as an industry, we also need to do better, in communicating. That's why we have this type of dialogue. Recently, our CEO was at a conference with the Association of Building Contractors, explaining to them what, like, the seriousness of the issue and the need for them to help us so we can help, us, as an industry, because we, as a chamber or as an industry, might be spending close to 6 million plus to repair it. But when you look at the economic cost for people who are not able to make their business deals and all of that, it runs, into millions. Now, do you have any idea within a sub-region how Ghana compares with other countries when it comes to fiber cuts, or is it the same across board?
I don't know.
I've not compared any data. But what I've been in other countries like Francophone countries, and if I look at the number of cuts occurring in those countries, is lower because they have systems that work. Systems that work in the sense that before you take a pickers to the ground, you need to talk to or locate a utility locating service. Sometimes you need to even do soil testing. And all this must be approved before you can even go ahead and use the pickers on the ground. But over here in Ghana, anybody takes the pickers and just starts working. So it's one of the problems, one of the challenges. I believe that's what they are doing that is different from what I do. So in Ghana, for instance, I can experience, there are times I've experienced in a week 8 to 10 fiber cuts.
How?
When I was in those other countries,
8 to 10?
8 to 10 fiber cuts in a week. And when I was in those other countries, in a quarter, for instance, maybe 3 or 4.
Wow. In a quarter?
In a quarter, 3 months. In a week, I'm experiencing 10. So you see that something is working there that is not working here. And I believe our stakeholders, there's a lot we can learn from these guys that we can also implement here. And one thing they're doing is that there are bodies that are regulating this. They always step in to ensure that the right thing is done.
So we heard from the video that was played when we went out to speak to the people on the streets, and it's just there isn't any appreciation or awareness of fiber. We as industry, we can't sit by and say, okay, we're just doing our work. It's also important that we get out there and educate the people. What more do you think can be done to ensure that the ordinary Ghanaian appreciates fiber? I don't even know, how do you say fiber in local? I speak Ghana fluently.
It's foreign to local languages.
I know, it would be nice to actually have the word broken down to Ghana, Ebe, Chi, or any of these other languages.
I quite remember in the past where fiber was being deployed initially. Everywhere they went, if they're going through a town, they usually will cut a piece and then show it to the community so that they know that what they are putting there doesn't have metals in it, and it's safe and all. So that educated people a lot, and knowing that there's no metal for them to come and pull out or anything. So it was pretty helpful. Today, these opportunities are also there. We can continue the education and then ensure that the community, municipalities and all are supporting this exercise of educating and ensuring that people follow the right processes in pursuing their private developments, as well as the road constructions, as Ellie mentioned. So all of that we need to continue adopting.
No, I'm a big advocate of what to call punitive, measures against people who flout the law or try to, destroy our infrastructure. I mean, for you, is it time that we work actively with the security services, turn a blind eye on people who come and beg, to make sure we prosecute people who actually destroy? Because sometimes they will destroy it, and once we want to go ahead and take legal action against them, they'll come behind closed doors, come and be begging. I mean, I don't know about you, but me, I feel like no, they should be made to face the law.
Yeah, I think that can be added as a measure. In fact, in this country, there are several laws prohibiting damage to telecom infrastructure.
Critical national information infrastructure.
Yes, we have the Cybersecurity Act, we have the Electronic Transaction Act, several laws. So if we are enforcing these laws and bring these people to the full rigors of the law, I mean, somebody will look at it, learn something, and be able to apply it as well. So, yes, it's high time we need to take some of these measures in order to prevent further damage to critical infrastructure like the fiber optic cable.
Okay. So I have a list here. I'm going to run you through them, and I want you, what action should they be taking, or what message you have for them when it comes to fiber cuts? I want to start with the road and drain contractors.
Yes, so as we have mentioned, proper stakeholder engagement is very important. So when you're about to begin any construction activity, it's the onus is on you. I mean, it's imperative for you to reach out to these utility owners. And when you have outlined on various steps to take, make sure you respect the timelines. Give time, I mean, for the companies to relocate their services, and then you can also do the rest. So, long story short, is that factor that delay in your program, that there's a chance that you may spend 3 to 4 months in relocating existing utilities, so that your project, I mean, the time schedule for your entire project is not affected.
Your message for the road contractors, is it the same?
Yes, actually, we have some collaboration started with the Ghana Highway Authority in regards to that. So we're having exchanges with them. When they started the Dodowa Road, they reached out and we started engaging them. So yes, it's a good start, and we need to continue in that
deep in the collaboration
and go beyond the Highway Authority. The urban roads is there, and others who go into excavating everywhere.
I mean, you are being gentle. My message is that do not cut it. I mean, as like you said, make sure you engage the right stakeholders as contractors, as part of your project planning. Make sure you engage us when the timelines are agreed, you respect it. Because if you cut it, you never know. Deep in the night, when you need to make a call, when you need to send an email to close that deal, or save someone, you will not be able to make it, and you will be asking why, be complaining that the network is not working. It's simply because you never know some action that you took. Cut some fiber somewhere and is not allowing you to be able to make that life-saving call. So please, contractors, road and drain contractors, please engage and desist from destroying our infrastructure. Okay, my next question is what? Drivers of overloaded trucks.
The authorities responsible for disallowing that. GPRTU can also support in that regard, and they shouldn't be on the road doing that. If you are heavily overloaded and beyond the extremities of your vehicle, there are measures put in place. You need an escort, you need, certain things, but it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen
total
most
disregard
times.
for
exactly. So people go beyond their limits and then they keep on cutting. So for drivers, they really need to stop overloading, especially going too high.
So this would be for our area,
especially where road crossings are involved.
So basically, I mean, as driver, you should realize that. I mean, why would you overload? Do not do that, because then you're putting your own life in danger. Exactly. And also, once you go out there and you destroy the cables that have been laid, because some of the fiber goes underground and some goes above ground. You know, so at road crossings, you might destroy one. You might think, oh, it's just an ordinary line or ordinary cable, but it isn't. It might be fiber that will be delivering important services to some hospital somewhere and all of that. And if you destroy it, you never know. You might be at the end of the stick where you suffer. Okay. Now I have the people who think fiber ducts contain copper. I will not stop repeating it. There is no copper. No copper. Please. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
Yeah. There's no copper, so as you can see, we've demonstrated this is how the cable looks like. There's no copper in it, there are no metallic components that you can even get out of this. And so we'd advise you to just stay away from it. When you see it out there, I mean, just close your eyes and then move away.
Yes. I mean, it's for your own good. Leave it alone so that at least people will be able to do their communication. You will be able to even do your calls and watch your YouTube videos, instead of going around trying to destroy the infrastructure. Now, for private developers, filling station, real estate, and the likes.
Yeah, similarly, they need to reach out to the authorities when developing. A lot of times they don't. Yeah. People are putting up buildings and, they get stop work written on them. It's the same way they are encroaching into the space reserved for utility. So that really needs to stop.
I know that the chamber has been working with the relevant stakeholders to ensure that if any filling station is about to be built, their plans are brought to us. We actually review them and align. Okay, we check. Do we actually have fiber infrastructure here or there? If we do, we are giving them enough time to be able to move them. If we don't, then they can go ahead and then do their construction. That's how we're supposed to work. Because at the end of the day, we are working so that we all benefit as a people, as a people. Now, funny enough, farmers also somewhat destroy our infrastructure. Can you speak to that?
Yes, they actually do. There are sections of the fiber that passes through farmlands, and proper deployment has a warning tape with a contact number. So whenever you are trenching or whenever you are using your pickers, just look out for these warning tips, and there are contacts on it that you can reach out to the owner of this infrastructure. They come and then advise you on how you should navigate your way around the trenches. So it's very important that when you are trenching, you trench carefully. When you are digging, you dig carefully.
I'd propose for those going for F licenses at the DVLA, fiber, when buried, there's always a warning tape, maybe a foot above it, a few inches above it. So when you're excavating, you meet that tape first, before you meet the underground fiber. In doing that, this license that they are giving, it should be part of the education, so that they know that when they are excavating, you meet that, you need to stop. As you mentioned, there's a contact number on that, and you can call them to notify that, okay, I'm doing this. You may have infrastructure down there. But without that, they'll cut.
So I think it's been a very, very important conversation. We're about to wrap up. Just get your final words together as I talk to my people. And the message is simple. In today's world, I mean, as we all experienced on March 14th, without access to the internet, which is facilitated or made possible by fiber optic cables, our life basically comes to a standstill. You watching me right now, remember what it felt like to not be able to go on the internet and be able to search for your news on all your news portals, and also watch the videos you want to watch, or go on TikTok. And you experience what it felt like. Life literally basically came to a standstill. You can't communicate because we're all using WhatsApp or other means of engaging our people, with WhatsApp being one of the most popular, Telegram and the likes. Without this, we are unable to communicate with our family and friends near and far. So be minded, respect the fiber, and make sure that if someone is contemplating destroying fiber, you advise them against it, because there might come a time when you might want to send an email to close that business deal. You might want to send a video to your boss somewhere, and because fiber has been cut and you might not have anything to do with it, but because fiber has been cut in your neighborhood, you will not be able to execute that call, send that email, watch that important video to prepare for your examination, or even call to save your family member. Yeah. So that's my final word. I don't know what your final words
so
are.
For me, for a very long time now, we've been saying water is life. I believe we have gotten to a point where we can say internet enhances life.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. And so we need to do everything we can to safeguard this infrastructure that provides us with connectivity.
I know what, Harry?
Yeah, we all said it through and through, and as it is, fiber is life now.
Fiber is life. So, I mean, ask yourself, if you're at home and you don't have access to the internet and the lights, which one would you choose? Which one would you? Most of the time, when you wake up, the first thing you're doing is you're grabbing your phone. But if the fiber continues to be cut, then you might go on the phone and will not be able to do what you want to do, like browsing and messaging and like. So support this message. If you can share this video with your friends, like it and comment, we'll be very grateful. But thank you so much for joining us for today's edition of the Chamber Dialogue. We bring this to you on the very last Tuesday of every other month, and it's on our Facebook channel, on our YouTube channel as well, the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications. You can go there, watch, like it and comment, and we will respond to you. Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you so much, Ellie. I appreciate it. And like you said, I mean, water is life, but fiber and the internet enhances life. All right, keep watching.
Okay.
I like that.
Hello.
Oh, Mommy, you're London.
Mambe.
Oh, okay, oh, Mommy, you're London, no.
Auntie Becky Anna.
Hey, we saw okay, Hey, what to say? Ayo, me who watch no be what to say with you.
Oh, Yamia Domobia Hoye, now also.
Ah, you done Yamiasi. Hey, but so why your mommy penny?
Oh, and I does.
Baby, Madame for people, Bagana.
Hey, sir.
Timmy John, I'm a mayor supplies.
Sir?
Aye, shoe size ben now,
38.
Oh, me tall 40 close.
Oh, and the case with me, Ashe.
Oh, sir.
Hey.
Natalie.
And this size 12.
Hey, I didn't even
Oh,
Madame for no bedroom Ghana 4 days new.
Okay.
It's make a chance on for what? Me maniacal kaka.
Hey, that's Becky.
Tiny shoes in Kwa. It's Kaka Kribishimu. And Mobia was at
Matilda. And one knee. What did I say? I'm sure.
Yo, bye-bye.
Bye. Hey.
Where Gina, what does you no confirm Bona? I've been calling you, sir. I'm not picking a call.
I was on a call. You know what has happened?
I don't know.
See that my auntie that I said that she's in London like 15 years now. I've not heard from her. She just called me.
Where did you go and sleep?
Ask me. I don't even know.
Is she coming to take you?
No. But she's sending us things.
No, wait. Why have you stopped? Wait. Gina, Nego auntie, when she called you, did she mention any other person's name?
I don't remember anything like that. But how does that matter?
Matter so. Use Moicho. This is the new way people are using to fraud people.
Fraud?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Come on, bomb me like am I sure?
Wait, she said the person will call me in 5 minutes time.
Yo, boy, about what they want can't a man to any yo ya. Not gonna waste my time.
Wait, there's a call. Hello? Yes, this is Gina. My auntie say you're bringing me the things.
Your mama near my semen from mom.
Intimidating and your mano.
Oh, me will be a year yet deliver mammy intimidating your man near mano. Not the bishia, why?
Oh, okay, with us.
Would they mean yako? Mamma for back.
Oh, I should have seen this viola.
Mommy, oh, find a family I knew what they.
I should have seen this view. She'll come back right now.
Wait. This woman, I mean, believe ye. Let's go and query here. What query?
Wait, me, I believe so. Wait. Yes, hello.
Hello. Yenya problem kakra bi o.
Hey, problem be.
Papa na ode nyoma ne ba no wenya force kakra bi na.
Fault ben.
Ohia emwa. Sisia de min kiteska me so ameni mobile money. Nti se obetumi am. Wano eya na me de usika na ma.
Eden potin na ye papa no.
Car tire na apai.
Ne car tire apai. Nti ohia be yesese.
Ohia be se 200 cedis.
200 cedis. Oye papa me ba me for.
No, but you are 200 Ghana. That's the problem, sister. What they one city can't amount to.
Asha, let's read question.
Very here. Charlie.
Hello. Patrol se me auntie Ben si fan your money brem Caro ana.
Aye.
Na se first was Belinda.
Dabi na e kalu.
And also fan your money brem me.
Aye.
Patrol me di ndi saying.
Madam, your man open na se wompe.
Odia ye me pen your money biom keep him.
Oh, aden.
Oh, keep him. Unko answers 25 different. Aden. Hello. Hello. Aisha.
Hello. Hey, me favor. Hey, Charlie. Carlos Gade. Be smart. Use Oyito. Don't become a victim of mobile money fraud. Stay safe.